Well,
Right.
the thing that I find so crazy is going back to the Hatch days. Everyone is looking for that overnight success story, and it's like best case scenario, it's a 5 or 6 year overnight success story. So if Hatch would have stayed open and been given the opportunity to just do its thing, let's look at some of those companies now. You have Array Digital that's doing over $1 million a year in revenue.
2 million.
Carrie Norfolk that had a successful acquisition.
7-figure exit. So there was the Mass Roots guys that started at Hatch, which ended up becoming the first IPO company out of Denver. Like there was some success in there.
Yeah.
We're going to start all over again.
7 Cups of Tea came out of Start Norfolk.
Right.
I mean,
you look at the Launchpad and you got,
feel like we did a pretty good job there, folks.
SVT Robotics finished their seed round, getting ready to start a Series A. They did their thing. We had Instant Teams that was there after Star Peninsula that did their thing at the Launchpad. So it's just, if people would just stay out of the way, it's like you all can take the credit. We're not in it for credit because we're here just to build the community. If you feel the need that you have to go back to your leaders and pat yourself on the back and doing so, go ahead and do it.
I realized this, I think in 2013, 2014, and I'm going to say it in a different way. This area doesn't know how to market itself from a success standpoint. I believe within like 6 months of themselves, Anthem and Smithfield had been acquired for multi-billion dollars. These are 15 to 18-year-old companies at the time, I believe, right? I might be mixing up the companies a little bit, but I think it's like that there was some medical company, I think like an Anthem or something like that, that was based here. So there was something here, or maybe they were bought by Anthem or something happened, right? And there was 2 acquisitions that were for billions of dollars. If I am a founder, so this is how I'm thinking about this. If I'm a founder of a company and within 15 years or so, I can create a company in the 757 and then sell that for billions of dollars. Why are we not celebrating that to the extent that we were? The story was, right? The story that came out was, oh my God, they're leaving. The amount of jobs that are being lost and all this other crap. And I'm just like, hold on. Like, if we want to push the founder aspect, and I pushed this a lot, right? And I've told this narrative before, but it's just like, that's what's missing, where if something like this happened, in a different city, they would be celebrating how big of a, I mean, I can't even think about how many zeros that is in an acquisition. I mean, it's so much, and I can only count to 6. So, I mean, it's
Amplified. I'm surprised
Amplified,
that didn't make any real, I mean, outside of Startwheel's blog, and there was like something maybe like that we have a win that happened a week or 2 ago, and it's like crickets,
But they don't want to market the success. A lot of times it's not. It's still at the ground level. The ground level knows it, but then even from a media perspective, we don't push and celebrate the things that should be done. I mean, let's talk about something from like 18 months ago, 24 months ago. I guess it'd be 24 months ago now. Is Something in the Water, right? Like one of the biggest potential festivals in the world is here, never celebrated.
Yeah, that was gap number 2 on the assessment, is our storytelling problem.
Mayor group, that was what it was. A mayor group got bought,
a bunch of folks said, I feel like I'm the only success story in town, is what some folks were saying, like throughout interviews and stuff like that. But, I experienced this like with the press release that I shared out. Like I shared it pretty wide. You guys ran it first. I sent all my traffic to you. I mean, Startwheel does a great job with like, having really good news for the startup community. But outside of that, like, I read Inside Business, and it is what it is, but
I appreciate that. And I just want to make sure that everybody that's listening, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have news, leverage us. I mean, it's just, again, I don't make the decisions. I don't edit anything. All I do is to share. I pass on what needs to be passed on. I mean, you guys are the ones that are making the news. And I really want to hear more about this survey. But I think that one of the troubling results, or maybe I don't know if it's part of the results, but one of the troubling things that I hear is, if I want to be successful, I don't even associate myself as being a Hampton Roads company. I don't focus on doing businesses in this area, and that's troubling to me. because we don't get behind the companies that we have in this area.
Isn't that the point of what I was saying before? Of like the companies that's the access aspect. Yeah.
That's exactly, that's what you said is what triggered me to think of this. So we've got to get behind these folks, and Startwheel is going to be there to do it. And Aaz is you're going to be there to do it. So please tell somebody.
I'm hopping on a plane. I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, like Byron. I was so sad when he left. But
apparently he works at Facebook now.
Does he? Really?
Yeah, I just heard that
Good
recently.
for him.
Look, I mean, that stuff happens.
Yeah.
To me, like, people leave. That's fine. People come. People stay. Like, that happens, right? That normal churn is there. But I think there are little things that I think are a lot easier to fix, like the access part that would go a lot longer way. The celebration, access, things like that. Those are not things that are brought up a lot, right? Celebration. No one ever talks about celebration.
The three of us, we already know the answers to the survey results.
I don't need a survey to tell me anything.
Because right. Well, that's what I'm saying. We live it every day, so we wouldn't be surprised by any of it.
Right.
Oh, why isn't my startup doing great? Well, it's probably not being celebrated the way that it needs to be. It probably isn't being marketed the way that it needs to be.
Yep. Yeah. I think
if I was Boston, for example, like I would talk, my thing would be like, hey, we created Facebook. We did. Isn't that, right? You also created the marathon.